bring the dream to life, they always will. In every town, they got your back. Marksville Trumpet's more than that. Experience hands make your dream complete. Drum Landscape Supply, your garden suite.
Good morning, LKN. It is Friday, 7:40, or actually 7:40, 8:48. I'm sorry, Jason Drum. It's 8:48. We're wrapping up our week just like we do every week with Jason Drum. Jason, you came in on Girls' Day today. Welcome to Girls' Day in the studio. We have the late number Woman of the Year Gala tonight. Let's say in homecoming, it's homecoming season 2. So let's say people want boutonnieres, corsages for homecoming. Do you have any plants that people could maybe, not this year, but maybe next year, or, start planting this year so that next year they can kind of grow their own corsages and boutonnieres in their own backyard?
Yeah, there are, roses are something that are very popular for that. And we have several different varieties. And then lots of hydrangeas. So hydrangeas are another great thing that you can use for corsages, and then a lot of different cut flowers. So all kinds of things, and planning for the future is the main thing, because we get asked about cut flowers and things like that, and really having them in the ground for a year is going to give you the best selection of cut flowers, not just something you plant initially.
So I'll start planting my flowers now, and then I can have them for a Late Norm Woman of the Year Gala 2026. They'll be ready for that.
No, maybe. We're not adding one more thing to your list.
We're not going to grow the flowers for the event to my list. We'll leave that to Jason Drums and the experts at Drum Landscape Supply. Over 1 trillion offerings out there. But where are you today? Where are you, in your front yard?
I'm on the side yard today.
Okay.
That faces out towards the street. So I added that paper patio about a year ago, and the little retaining wall there, and my son's basketball goal. So we had to do that. I've got some tree work getting ready to be started in the backyard here. So unfortunately, I'm having to take down 3 pine trees that were here when I moved in, but the southern pine beetle has moved into them. And so once you get one in the pine tree, you really should go ahead and take them all down.
Okay, so that's something that will destroy your tree. How do people know if they have something like that where they need to take down the tree versus going to Drum Landscape Supply and getting one of your treatments that you have there?
Yeah, so especially around the Lake Norman area, you'll see a lot of the Virginia pines or loblolly pines. That's a part of the landscape down there around the lake. And what you look for is a decline in the needles. So if you start seeing some brown pine needles throughout the summer or in an odd time of the year, you want to go and check the trunk. And so what the southern pine beetle does is it bores into the trunk, and it leaves this little, almost looks like a little popcorn ball where it enters the trunk, or it's actually the sap coming out. So that's something to look for there. Basically, once you get that into a larger pine tree, that one definitely needs to be removed as soon as possible so it doesn't get into the other pine trees. So mine got left a little bit longer. It got stressed because it was part of the woods, and then when they cleared the lot, all of a sudden it's exposed. So that's what happens with those pine trees, is when they get under some kind of an environmental stress, then it makes it easy for those southern pine borers to get in there. So just something to look out for. If you see some odd sap or anything around your pine trees, then it's time to call an expert.
Okay, and is it something as simple as, like, I could take a picture and text it to you guys, or take a picture and bring it to you guys, and you guys could recommend which way to go?
Certainly, yeah, we do that a lot. You can text right to our main phone number. It's 704-253-7010, the main one on our website. And we're glad to take a look at it. Issues like you're talking about a pine tree, or if you see something in your lawn that you just don't know about, like I've got these Encore azaleas here.
I love those.
Nice. Yeah. It's one of my favorite plants here, but earlier this summer I had a little bit of lace bug damage to the azalea. So I needed to spray that. The lace bugs, you can see, kind of make a little stippling on the leaf there. It just doesn't look quite like the nice newer green leaves. So a little bit of spray, a little bit of care can keep your azaleas looking nice. And yeah, these start blooming in August, and they really keep going until about Thanksgiving or so.
Now, Katie,
one of my favorite plants.
Katie, I'm working on my Southern card, which means that I need to know the name of every plant that I walk by when I'm on the walk through the neighborhood.
Don't look at me.
I feel like that's what my grandmother was able to do. She was the epitome of a Southern woman. So I go out to Drum Landscape Supply and I just study out there sometimes so I can name all the plants. But I don't have to do that, right? People don't have to do that. They can go out and they can see you, Jason, out there. You and your team can kind of help them know what's going to work best for their yard to keep it beautiful all year long.
Yeah, that's something we love doing. We've got a great staff throughout all these years. And so I actually have even more plant professionals than ever. Shamira has really helped out lately. She might be the one that'll check you out at the computer, but then can go in the nursery and help you pick out great plants that will work, as well as Jim and David, who've been with me for more than 5 years each. So if one of those three is busy, then I'll pop out there and help you myself. So we're all about, helping people figure out what's going to work right for their yard.
That's right.
And that's so important because I know I love a garden. I love flowers, but I don't know anything. And I probably don't want to do it either unless it's very simple. So we joke it has to be hardy. So to be able to walk in and like show you my house or let you know what I'm envisioning, and then you just hand me like, hey, this is what you need to buy. That's perfect.
Yeah.
We'll walk around with you, and then you can say, hey, I like those colors. I want that color of bloom, and then we'll find the plants that'll work in that place, because we have quite a bit of a selection, and we have several plants that we know work in a lot of situations for people who aren't advanced gardeners. But making sure that you like what you see, and then we'll take that, what your preferences are, and then turn it into plants that'll work for your landscape.
Yeah, and we like to joke that Jason has more than 1 trillion offerings if we count every single piece of mulch and every single rock that he has out there. But really, it is over 10,000. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have a lot of different plants out there. A lot of natural stone selection, the decorative gravels. We're talking about 1 trillion of those. There probably is if you counted every pebble. But we have the largest selection of river rock and decorative gravels, as well as flagstone, that you'll find in this area. And then, of course, the nursery. I mean, that's my favorite thing there. It's about 20% of our business. So you can see what else we sell a lot of. But it's just having the variety of things that work for our area. That's what I've strived for the past 14 and a half years.
And fall really is as big a planting season as the spring, when you're looking at the grass. And then we've talked about, I do want to ask you about mums too. I know we talked about it the last couple times you were on here. Is that something that it's an annual, right? Not a perennial, or is it a perennial?
It
can be.
A lot of times it is a perennial.
Yeah.
If you plant it in the ground, it's going to be hard to get them to live in the pot throughout the year. But it is something that you can plant in the ground, and most of the times they'll come back. So we're actually getting a shipment in today, our first shipment of mums and pansies. So I have a great selection to choose from here in just a few hours on that. But a lot of people will just have the mums and put them on their porch for the season and then throw them out, whenever they've faded or whatnot. And that's fine too. But if you want to go ahead and take those and plant them in the ground, most likely you'll have most of those to come back, and you can enjoy the color, in your landscape, not just on your front porch.
Yeah. The mums look at me. I was at the grocery store, I told Jason, and they looked at me and they're like, please don't take me home. I'm just going to die on your porch.
Well, my daughter's ready to, she's like, Mom, can we decorate? Can we get our pumpkins? Can we get our moms? And I'm like, no, not when it's 90 degrees.
That's right.
Get a little cooler first, and then we will gladly decorate.
That's right. So if someone's looking to decorate their porch with all those beautiful fall colors, what do you recommend for that?
Well, I just recommend watering them regularly. That's the main thing that'll keep them alive. A lot of times, especially when you're in these high 80s, like we're going to have the next few days, you do need to water them every day to make sure that they stay consistently moist. Because what happens is if they dry out one time, then that just kind of starts a downhill spiral for those type of plants. It's hard to get them to look good after they've gotten dried out. So, but a mixture of mums, you get you some pumpkins and gourds from the grocery store or the farmer's market, even better. And then having some planters that might have some snapdragons in it. That's a really popular plant that'll last through several frosts. And then pansies. Pansies are the annual flower that gives you the most color for your money, because you plant them now in September, October, even early November, and they will bloom throughout most of the winter. They'll survive the winter in our area, and then they'll give you a lot of spring color all the way up until May. So pansies and snapdragons, violas, they're some of the best annuals to plant because you really get the most bang for your buck.
That was always my great grandmother's favorite.
Yeah.
Pansies.
The
She
pansies.
loved the pansies.
Yeah. That's us earning our Southern card right here.
There you go.
Jason, I do want to go back to your driveway for a second. Or do you have pavers for your driveway? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do. I didn't know you could do pavers on your driveway.
Yeah, so actually it's a mix, and I may be getting a little out of Wi-Fi signal here, but yeah, so we actually added on to the driveway. We moved into this house 1 year after it was built, so it wasn't, our design or anything. And then, so we need a little bit of extra parking there. I've got a 2-car wide driveway, but we need an area that was flat so my son could play basketball, that we could have a little extra parking. So came up with this design, and this is the Panorama City Stone. And actually mixed 2 different colors in here. And then above it, we have a stone retaining wall to kind of make it level. So I've got a little bit of a difficult grade. It comes down from the street to my house, so we had to really play around with the angles. But we were able to get it in here nicely, and it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah,
That's
that
pretty.
looks beautiful. Yeah, it just adds that extra little something to your front driveway too, not just the regular concrete driveway. So that looks amazing. All right, Jason, thank you for joining us today, and looking forward to talk to you again on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
All right. I hope you ladies do too.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
All
Thank you.
right. Katie, this is it. We're here. This is the day. And
This
thanks
is
for
the
hanging out with
day.
me this
Thanks
morning
for
on
having
this
me.
very long day. We're going to be celebrating for the rest of this
We're not
day.
going to think about that. We're not going to think about how long the day is going to be because it's going to be fabulous.
It's going to be good. We'll definitely both get a nap in at some time today. So,
No, we
yeah,
won't.
looking forward to a fantastic day, a fantastic Lake Norman Woman of the Year gala tonight. And thank you to Jason Drum. Thank you to Debbie. Thank you to Katie for being here. Thank you to all of our guests that were
finalists.
here and all of our finalists that were here. Yes, you guys. Have a great weekend.
Taylorsville, they got to back, turn yards into wonderlands, that's the fact. Expert hands and friendly smiles, drum landscapes look like those miles